Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Yes, I'm back on the Yang River here in Nanning, China. My perspective has changed a little bit over the last while. I've done some retirement videos in the past, and I think I give good advice just for the fact that I've been retired for 10 years, living in China, Canada sometimes, Southeast Asia, bouncing around between Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, Cambodia, whatever. But you know, that was when I was married, and now I'm back in China again, as everybody that watches this channel knows. And you know, retirement has changed a little bit because I am alone. I don't spend as much money now as I did when there was two of us. Just don't have a lot of needs. That's one of the things about living in China. Things are not very expensive here. You know, I've talked about this, and I actually put out a video here just the other day all about the cost of living here in China. You can find cheaper places to live, like Cambodia is less expensive. I looked at Thailand as a little bit more expensive. But if you're making $1,000 or $1,500 a month American, anywhere in Southeast Asia except for Japan, you're good to go, kind of thing. With the cost in the Western world, $1,000, $1,500 doesn't go very far. There you go. You've got your rent paid, type thing. So you know, for the people that are sort of struggling, the retired guys that are sort of struggling in the West, China's a great place to come and live. It's a safe place too. So when you get older, you can't fight your way out of a wet paper bag. So you don't want a violent society, and China isn't a violent society. See, there's something that you don't see anymore. You used to, people living on boats, the boat people. See that? They do their fishing. They live there 24/7, 365 days a year on their boats. This area used to be big for boat people, but the Guangxi government took them off the boats, put them in apartments and whatever. Oh, this is a long time ago, it'd be about 20 years ago. And it improved their life, because living on a boat, you might think it's nice, but it's not. It's not. Anyway, so you know, the lack of violence, the safety issue here is a good thing. I like it here because it's safe. You can walk around with a beer in your hand. The police will not harass you here. If you're not wearing a helmet, they'll well, I came by a place this morning where the police were stopping people that weren't wearing helmets and giving them a 50 RMB fine. But if you stopped your bike a quarter of a block before the police and took your helmet and put it on and then drove ahead, they wouldn't give you a ticket. It's more a training thing with the police here than to say, oh, we caught you and we're going to give you a ticket, and you know what I mean? So it's a different way of policing. Another thing, you don't need a fishing license here in China. Hello. I got a fan, eh? You don't need a fishing license here in China. You can just get a fishing rod, go down to the river, and catch fish. It's so you're not taxed, is what I'm saying, on everything that you do. They're not out to get you here like they are in the Western world. You don't see the drug addicts and the homeless people on the streets, and it sort of makes it a little bit nicer that you don't have to deal with that stuff. You know, it's a cleaner society, I guess, is what I'm saying. So you know, retiring in a place like China, it makes sense. I've always said, don't retire in one place, bounce around, and I still say that every 6 months. See, I've got a 9-year, which is really a 9.5-year visa, and that's another thing. Getting a visa for China is simple and easy. All you have to do is ask for a 9 or 10-year visa, and they'll look and see how much time you've got on your passport, and they'll issue you a visa accordingly, type thing, eh? And mine is for 180-day stays, so every 180 days I have to leave the country and then come back in again. So that gives me a chance to jump on an airplane to, say, Cebu City or Metro Manila, go see people down in Dumaguete, Go to Thailand, Bangkok. Cambodia is just like an hour flight out of Nanning, and we do have an international airport here now, so it makes it easier. You're in the middle of everywhere. Wei Fang and I went to Singapore one time. 4 days, 3 nights, and it cost us 1,999 RMB. I remember that. And direct flight right out of Nanning to Singapore, hotels included, flight and hotels. Now that was it, but that's $200 Canadian, less than $200 Canadian, to spend a long weekend in a place like Singapore. So everything here is sort of so close. Nanning is sort of the center hub of this whole area, and I think that's why they use it for the Asian conglomeration of countries, because it has that location close to the South China Sea, close to all of the Asian countries in Southeast Asia. Yeah. So retiring in Nanning, China, I wouldn't say Inner Mongolia or Harbin up in the north, right beside Russia. I wouldn't recommend that, but I would recommend Nanning. And you can see by my background here that this city is growing in leaps and bounds. When I started coming here, there was just over 3 million, not quite 3.5 million people in this city. That was in 2003. Now it's 2024, and there's just about 9 million people in Nanning. There probably is 9 million people. It's just they haven't done how do you count them when they arrive in the city so quickly. Mass urbanization, and that's why you see stuff like this in the background, the high rises. And no, they're not all empty. They're full. They're usually sold before they even start construction, and as soon as they're done construction, they're filled up with people. This is Nanning. It's not up north in some godforsaken frozen wasteland, but they do have frozen wasteland here in China too. And another thing, now that I'm not married, a single foreign guy, even at my age, you've got, how do I put this politely? I guess you can't put it politely, so I'll just say it Gweilo style. In the West, at 63 years old, I would have to marry some old hag, overweight, but I just wouldn't. I'd rather not type thing. Here, you still have a really, really good chance of finding somebody that's 10, 20 years younger than you that is smitten with you type thing. And I've noticed that because I have gone out a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and I have met some pretty nice ladies, and it's not. You watch the YouTube videos on places like Thailand and the Philippines and whatever, and it's all about sex and trying to get the young pretty girl and stuff like that. See, Chinese aren't like that. They have values. It's not, hi, meet you, jump in bed, and they want to marry a foreigner because the foreigner can give them a better life. They have money, they have cars, they have their own apartments, they have, they're probably more well off to do than the foreigner is here in China. So, but they don't see age like we see age in the West, and they take care of themselves. So they're not these overweight, self-entitled type of characters. So with the money, the safety, the no taxing, being able to restart your life and have a partner or wife that you can be proud of because they're highly educated and they're clean and they're just a notch above what you'd be used to in the Western world type thing. Not saying that all Western women are like that, but there is a lot of them, I'll tell you that right now. So it just makes retiring in a place like mainland China, in Nanning city of 9 million, just about 9 million people, a better place than living in the Western world. I'm living proof of it. I wouldn't change the place that I live And I've talked to some ladies online and stuff, and they said, well, where are you gonna, where do you want to live? Are you gonna go back to Canada? Do you want to move to Singapore? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I said, no, I'm staying in Nanning City. So so that's probably one of my main criteria, is to find a lady here in Nanning City and settle down, and that's just the way of it. And that's my take on this subject. From the banks of the Yong River, the Yongjiang in Nanning City. It's another video from Gweilo 60. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the score. Peace out. Bye now.